Hey guys, it's Mooty here, and today I have a Wi-Fi battle. This is singles against David, and his channel will be in the description, so you can also check him out. His side of the battle might be uploaded, I'm not sure, but he does upload Wi-Fi, so you can feel free to check out his channel. And this battle, was so good. Now, I'm doing this post-commentated, so I have a lot of energy because I literally just finished the battle, and I kind of wish I was live recording it because it was a pretty good battle, even though I do make some mistakes, but I try and work around it, and I try and deal with the mistakes that I do make. So I led off with Excadrill. The only one lead I was hoping to not see was Greninja, because Greninja honestly is such a huge threat now, especially because like it gets gunk shot on top of the other variety of moves. So we both said Stealth Rock first turn, and maybe I should have just Rapid Spinned here, but I was kind of wanting to preserve my balloon just because he did have a Heatran in the back, so I was thinking that at least preserving the balloon would have been useful for the rest, well, not rest of the match, but later on in the match. And then also I had to fear the yawn, which was really annoying. I'm not gonna lie, the yawn did get really annoying at times, but that's something you can also play around. So I tried. I went into Gardevoir here expecting the Psychic to come. I do Trace Levitate, which is kind of, you know, useless, but this Gardevoir I'm running is supposed to outspeed, like, basically Garchomps. Unfortunately, it's not running max speed as I was hoping, but I do run some speed EVs in it, and it's Scarf. So I Moonblast. I get a good amount of damage off there, like a third, so it's looking like a 3-hit KO right now, and he starts amnesiaing, and I'm like, here, this is where I'm like, no, this is not happening. I refuse to let this type of thing happen. So I decided to switch out. There's no point in me staying in. Like, I could have stayed in and kept attacking, but he would have just kept either amnesiaing or yawning, and neither one of those I wanted to deal with. So here I went into Latios. I'm like, alright, he's gonna yawn, and I kind of wanted to sacrifice the trick. Sacrifice the sleep in order to get the trick off if this would end up working, and I'm just like, alright, this thing, I don't want to deal with you. So I ended up going for the trick here, and I ended up tricking a Heatran, which honestly ended up working out later on, because now knowing that this thing is specs, and because I have my own Heatran, makes me kind of play around it a lot better, and I don't have to worry about him switching up attacks. So even though trick didn't work in the way that I wanted it to work in this specific situation, it actually did end up helping me later on, and I do get leftovers back, which, you know, leftovers health recovery is always really useful as it builds up. Unfortunately, due to all that, I did have to sacrifice sleep, but I did know that this Heatran wasn't posing a threat to me, so I decided to stay in, and luckily he does Earth Power, probably predicting my own Heatran to come in and take a Flash Fire boost, but really there's no reason for me to switch out because I felt like there wasn't any immediate threat of Heatran. So knowing he's locked into Earth Power now, I knew that he had to switch out, so I'm like, please wake up this turn. I saw Greninja come in, I'm like, please wake up, and oh my gosh, I wake up and I go for the Draco Meteor, land it, and I just take out that Greninja. So definitely worth the -2 that I had to go to get this out of the way, but like, Greninja is such a huge threat to where I was so happy seeing that thing come in and just die, because like, that thing would have probably ended up doing a lot of damage to the rest of my team if I didn't immediately take it out. Now Diggersby comes in, and as far as I know from this thing, it does carry maybe Return. I don't have a lot of knowledge on this thing, but I figured it was either going to attack me with normal type attacks, in which case I figured I'll go into Excadrill, and hopefully that ends up working out in this situation. I have Mold Breaker, it doesn't really help me, but he is going to pop my Air Balloon with an Ice Punch. So that does a lot of damage. It does over half, but as long as the thing isn't scarfed, I can outspeed it and get some damage off on it with Earthquake, and I do sacrifice the ability to, I guess, I was like torn between either Rapid Spinning away my Stealth Rocks, but I figured since Uxie's still around, he still might set it up. So I figured getting the damage off on the Diggersby was a lot more important than actually Rapid Spinning away the Stealth Rocks. So here I go into my Beedrill. I really wanted to actually get my Mega out, even though I didn't have a lot of use for it in this specific battle. I did want to get my Mega out. I did want to actually get my speed boost up, so I decided to Mega Evolve and Protect, which I guess in hindsight, I really didn't need to Protect, but I did have to fear the Ice Punch. But, like, I'm not really sure, like, too sure of what Beedrill's speed was before Mega, so I was really just wanting to get that speed up. But here the Heatran comes out. I know obviously his specs, he's going to choice himself into something. I'm just going to get some extra damage off on him with some U-turn damage, and then I'm going to go into Latios, hoping that he either locks himself into a fire type attack or a ground type attack, either one of his 2 stabs. I was actually really happy to see Lava Plume, especially on Latios, because on the off chance he actually got the burn, it wouldn't really make much of a difference. It would just be a nuisance with extra residual damage, but other than that, luckily it's not a physical attacker that may have gone burned. And here I really thought he might have wanted to switch out, seeing that he's just going for a Lava Plume on a resisted Latios, but he probably predicted that, and I went into my Beedrill hoping he might have gone into like Uxie or something like he did the first time when he was against Latios. So didn't quite work out that way. Did end up sacrificing Beedrill there, which is kind of silly, but now that I know he's locked into a fire type attack, I do go into my Heatran. I really wanted to go for HP, hoping that like he would have switched. Maybe I would have gotten some damage on something. Like I should have gone with my gut instinct and gone for HP Ice. And now like I see Noivern come in and I regret it, but at the same time Noivern can't do a lot to me because like he's got Boom Burst, he's got Dragon Pulse, and Air Slash, I guess. All of those I resist, and I know I can kill him with an HP Ice, so even though I didn't immediately predict that, I kind of played it really safe with the Heatran. It did end up working out in the end. I did get rid of the Noivern, so even though it wasn't that big of a threat, I got rid of it. Now I know Sceptile's here, and seeing as this is the only potential Mega on his team, it was gonna Mega Evolve, and I knew he was gonna try and hit me with a Focus Blast, but the thing is, I had nothing that could safely switch into a Sceptile and risk him either Dragon Pulsing me. Like if I switched into Latios to resist it and he potentially Dragon Pulsed me, I could not risk that, so I had to sacrifice Heatran here in order to try and get in another Pokemon safely. I knew I could bring in Gardevoir. It wouldn't outspeed even with the Scarf, but maybe with the amount of bulk I have in this thing, he wouldn't want to attack me right off the bat. Even with a Giga Drain or a Leaf Storm, on the off chance it might not kill and put himself at -2. So I decided to go into Gardevoir, and I just went for the Moonblast on the off chance he did want to stay in, and I do get some tiny bit of damage on a Heatran. That doesn't really matter, but I guess in the end, every little damage matters. But I know I have to keep Gardevoir around to outspeed certain things. It still hits other things hard, so I'm wanting to keep this thing around. I go into Latios on the off chance he still wants to go for either Earth Power or Lava Plume. He goes for an Iron Head this time, which is really interesting because you don't usually see Iron Head on a Heatran, but I guess like I went for Surf here, and now I realize how bulky this thing is because it still lives that, and now I realize why he stayed in the other turn instead of actually switching out and just I guess wanted to get extra damage off on the Latios. But I know at least now he is low enough to where Gardevoir would take him out, outspeed and take him out, and Heatran being a threat is no longer an issue. So it was actually one of the things I was worried about, because the only other thing I have on my team right now is Sceptile, and if I couldn't take care of Heatran, there's no way my Sceptile can come in. Even though I do have Focus Blast, as we all know, Focus Blast is not reliable at all. So Uxie comes in. Judging from the damage that I hit him with the first turn, as long as he doesn't amnesia, even if he amnesias, I still might be able to 2-hit KO. Judging by that, it still would have been a 2-hit KO. He gets some psychic damage off on me, but I think that's his only attacking move, so he couldn't do much else, and I'm going to be able to take him out with one more Moonblast. This is the other bulky thing that I was really scared of dealing with at the end, because it had amnesia, and my last 2 Pokemon were special attackers. So luckily I was able to take it out before he even set up any amnesias or yawned me. So on hindsight, like if he yawned me, probably would have, well, if he yawned me, that actually don't think would have mattered much. I still would have killed him, and I still would have died this turn to a Giga Drain. And he does get enough health back. That crit I doubt mattered, but I don't really know, because Sceptile does have a lot of special attacks, so it probably didn't matter. And my last Pokemon here is Sceptile. So we got Mega Sceptile versus my regular Sceptile, and here I'm just hoping, like, I'm not Mega, so I'm not going to be weak to his Dragon Pulse, but I'm still going to take neutral damage. And Sceptile isn't like the bulkiest of Pokemon, you know, but here I am able to live that and still hit back with my own Dragon Pulse and take him out, because like Sceptile really can't take any super effective attacks. So here I'm like, I only have one more attack that I can get off, and his last Pokemon is Diggersby, and here I'm thinking that maybe he's got quick attack and he's just gonna kill me off. Turns out that he doesn't have quick attack, and I just end up winning with a final Dragon Pulse. Even though I die to Life Orb, it still counts as my win. So hopefully you guys enjoy this match. I thought it was a really close game, and it was definitely a lot of fun. Like I said, my opponent's channel will be in the description, and if you enjoy these battles, then you can leave a like. I super appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and bye.